your really strong part here is your early game, and you're looking in a Smolder way that want to play for 3-4 items, right? So, sure, Jamada has something to say on the side.
And everyone shows, I think numbers are known here by Rich Gang, but ulti comes in, no flash to
He's not
haste.
got a flash, he can only fit one person, the knockup comes on through! It's a beautiful trap, and Lost Ratones pounce with alacrity.
The haste, it feels like, has just been punished in this early game on these mobile control mages. But
this time,
Dragon for Rich
the early
Gang,
dragon,
maybe he'll look to punish the flash, or the lack of flash of the haste.
Speaking of, oh, you just called it. It's now a 1v2 though. Spiraling Despair overcomes Valley, looking to get the ult on down. They will kill off the Cho'Gath, but the Heartbreaker allows a potential steal of the body, buying Tyler. Doesn't actually want to steal it too early here. Now has all of 9 abilities from Quay to potentially use. We'll use the Molten Fissure initially. I'm not sure whether you needed to put out that little Tranquil Path, the Fleeting Current. Can maybe come over the wall, Matix here. Maybe fight this one out. Umbral dash over, but the stun to Ozan is tricky. Nemesis low. Needs to throw to back away. Survives. Body stolen. Available. Matix has actually not got a flash or an ult to work with. Ends up being a 2-for-2 in the grand scheme of things. Is Velia in the form of the Trundle is jumping away. I don't think Matix with his good sidesteps. D-Haste has respawned, and he's used that fleeting code to come back over.
Also 3 grubs now, and a neutral objective for LR. Now they can play the side lane extremely well with Ryze and his ults to side, as well as overloading side lane. But look at this.
Elastic Slingshot in. Remember, Nemesis does not have the flash. Has burned a lot of cooldowns as a result of that. Trying to find the realm warp out. He gets out. He's ignited and goes down. It's the smite.
The subjugate ignite was too much for him to live there. An excellent play. No ulti now for Ozan. Can he invade? Will Velia punish this?
Reckless goes on forward. He's got the Unbreakable Will rolling. Velia kind of low here, though. Needs to be a little bit wary as the Elastic Slingshot to Velia, who managed to spec some more out. No?
Yeah,
just
that was
really
ridiculous.
insane soul stacking.
But not going to see quite that level of stacking as a team fight comes through. Velia might be picked here. That's a good bounce back.
Oh boy, he does get over the wall. Will flash away from Smolder, comes summoning the mum. He just dies at Subjugate after the Spiraling Despair comes on down and they pick off another kill. That's good work for Rich Gang, and that'll be the Dragon as well. They're not just going to contest, they're going to win it.
You can tell Velia really wants to try and contest that because he has Kraken Slayer completed. It's such a big spike, and maybe they find a reset using that DPS, but they can't find anything. The range coming in from the way with the Severing Strike, the Severing Bolt rather, and the ultimate from the Mom. Sorry, such a terrible name. From Smolder. Coming in over the top. It's just super, super hard for Velia to get in there and potentially try to set up the play. And Engage comes through now. Alaric again, this is going to be such a neutral lane, so I need to get excited for that.
Too much. That's a decent double pulverize. Gets chunked back though with the stretching strikes. Alaric is ignited, but I don't think he cares. Remember, he's still got his passive to work with. Will flash on in to start. Let's bouncing. Crowny is just going to go down, and now Reckless going to get Alaric caught under the turret. Nemesis turned up with the realm warp. Baus is dead as well. You're right in the 1v1. D-Haste coming on up, forces a flash out of Nemesis. There's going to be the passive down from Alaric, and they will get that kill eventually, but it ends up being a 2-for-1 in the grand scheme of things for Rich Gang.
Alaric asks, do you know Zach's support limits right here? And Crowny has no clue. Crowny gets absolutely assassinated for the longest time and just scaled to 225 for free. Realm warp to top side though, on the side lane.
Trying to find the Crushing Maw and a bit of a resist. Haste already flashed on that bot side. They will likely die, but the Spiraling Despair comes on forward. Velia though with a bit of a response until, of course, Ozan whacks him with a club. Nemesis, remember, no flash, will go down as well. That makes it the 2-for-1. The Realm Warp play goes very wrong.
It does go wrong. I mean, you could see the try from Kevo is just absolutely a mental amount. But like you said, they've decided we're not going to cross-map and try to scale. We're just going to fight right now. And Alaric is leading the charge.
Drop the Herald. They're going to try and play that one bot side. I think Nemesis should still get tier 1 turrets top, and that will actually end up being the first turret over to Lost Ratones. That's feature strength as well. The problem is the bot side of the turret is going to go down. D-Haste has to flash away from Baus, who's looking for the feast combo. It is an AP Cho'Gath, so that is still quite a lot of damage to work with. Crowny lands a deadly first. Alaric is around though, and Baus not going to have the easiest time feasting that Zach.
That's strong. It feels like your win con's super, super thin right now. And just to outplay, Matix is going to win side against both champions. As Nemesis tries his best.
Velia's being forced to run away through the Harrow path. There's a stretching strike on the Crowny from max range. Oh, Crowny, he's got no flash. He's got nowhere to go. We'll throw a bit of damage back on DT Haste. It doesn't matter. That's a kill going the way of Kevo.
And Matix, he's looking to escape after going topside. He's going to pop the World Ender and get
so fast.
Infernal Cinder to be able to get away right there. That's a lot of move speed. They can't find the engage.
Alaric gets over the wall with the Elastic Slow Shock, a flash out as well. They get the Realm Warp. Now Baus is potentially in dangerous. D-Haste throws out the Spiraling Despair. Remember, that's not a very tanky Cho'Gath. Infernal Chains will pull him back. can't go for 2v4. Reckless finding the flash head, but Pulverize maybe looking for his own play. Devastating fire, just go wide, but into the back and goes Alaric. They do feast down the way, but over comes Matix, who's looking to trade back as well. Reckless getting the double Pulverize, but is traded out to 1-for-1 there. But Bounce is so damn low, it's quickly a 2-for-1. And now Rich Gang, this is the team we were
hard to play. I feel like Rich Gang, they're just on pace to completely destroy this game, provided there's no tremendous int here. Rich Gang.
That might be a little bit of an int. They just lost their mid laner. Alaric went forwards, and that left him a long way away from this way.
Rise DPS and Atacon starting, Feast as well. I think that's going to be LR starting the Atacon. Will Rich Gang contest? They can play the 4v5. The Haste has no TP for when he spawns.
This gets interesting. Chovy is strictly around. They might just give it up. They're going to play for the tier 1 mid and say, yeah, it's not that big a deal. Risky, but you are scaling well, and they don't want to fight the 4v5.
It makes sense. They don't want to play any kind of volatile fight 4v5 like you're saying, and then risk losing the summoners before the soul fight, right? You really don't want to lose Smolder's flash.
Wait, look at these turrets.
And potentially give over a reset with a Smolder and so on.
Super regularly. Matix is going to be forced to ult here on the other side of the wall, and coming on through. He's in a 1v3.
Sterex Sunder, can he live?
Deadly Flourish, but he's got Sterex and Sunder Sky. I think he could do quite a lot of work. Nemesis in the end flashes out. They do get the kill. And now actually it's Velia in the Aatrox's body. Alaric forced down into the cell division. Dehaste is knocked up. Now he's in danger. Crowny with another Deadly Flourish. Also has to flash on out. And except you were saying without the potential big int, I think this is the big int. Oh, Rich Gang, not like this. Velia does go a little too deep and can't get Chovy the hype
with this build, but the Ignite's going to come through. The healing on the autos is going to be reduced, and the burst is actually there.
Now done for this. It's actually behind. That's an interesting run. Warp 2v2 briefly. Good damage. Goodbye, Haste. And that's the reset number 1. Can start to spam through those Hwei abilities. The Grim Visage, the Crushing Maw, that Molten Fissure. A double for Velia, who has got those 2 items and begins to make them work for himself.
And it feels like Rich Gang are falling apart, and the only way that they can, with these overload plays and the ultimates, I don't think there's such a terrible champion that it's super dependent on getting resets, and that can be extremely difficult. If there's a game to lose, I think it's this one for sure, but Alaric's getting picked.
Oh boy. Does end up flashing away. The damage forwards onto Chovy. He's getting it by the good call! No. And Nemesis gets it with the overload. That's one way of managing it.
And that's going to be Nash start. They've got Rise DPS, they've got Kraken Slayer on Viejo and Feast for Baus. And there's no way really to contest. Maybe if they played with Poke, but I just don't think it's happening. That's going down extremely quickly. And it's gone. Is this going to be a comeback from Sol Point now for Los Ratones?
Someone if he gets on top of him.
That's a lot of damage. Velia has been extremely strong this game, finding a lot of... And last game as well. Just a tremendous series from the player. Indeed. Evo, at the very least, has a bunch of wave clears. So not only does he have Poke and his 2-5 stacks, they can play for wave clear on this Baron Siege. I think Ozhan could be picked here, but he always has Pillar to be able to pillar off Velia right here.
He's quick enough on that frozen
worst comes to worst.
Get out to safety. Velia might now actually be in danger, but just turns around the damage very happily. Yeah, he hurts quite a lot. Doesn't have to burn his ultimate, just gets to stick around. Into the Harrow path he goes, and Lost Ratones now have their increasingly dangerous Cho'Gath stepping on forward. He's got 11 stacks on that big Void monstrosity at this point as well.
Yeah, I mean, the wave clear's coming in. No tier 2s, unless they lose tier 2 mid right here with the 3 grubs on LR, which they have just done, is an ideal situation for Rich Gang. And it looks like they're going to actually lose their bottom tier 2 as well with the threat as they collapse from mid into side lane. And it's a massive injection of gold before the next dragon. But it is 25 seconds until Sol. Will LR be able to spend this gold? It doesn't look like it.
Deadly Flourish into a Spectral Maw potentially. There comes the Subjugate trying to turn it around, but Reckless ready to punish as Ozhan and Alaric split off from the team. Mom is summoned, but I don't know if this PTA meeting is going the way Rich Gang would like it. Over the wall goes Nemesis, and the Trundle is dead again. There will be no smite available for this dragon.
And you can see the value of the Alistair into the Zac. Zac, Alaric is trying to engage, but all Reckless has to do is look at where the engage is coming from and cast Q on the Zac mid-leap to cancel it. It's incredibly hard to play. Functions as something like a Poppy right there, and Alaric just cannot find the engage, and then they're stuck in a choke. Well. I really did think Rich Gang was stomping a little bit harder than that as Snap engage. Can they one-shot Trundle here?
I think they can. A flash and fall from Reckless looking for the trample passive. Gets it. Getting some more autos down. Another Pulverize, and goodbye Ozhan. Reckless might now be in danger, but he's still got R to press. He gets out to safety.
Bounce onto Baus, not Reckless.
It doesn't quite get there. Tried to find that
Mom misses as well. It's a tragedy.
It gets worse and worse.
It's an absolute tragedy. The body blocking from the Cho'Gath is just so large. I thought maybe, you know, Ozhan might be able to get away because a Q was blocked, but oh no, an engage, yeah.
Doesn't lead to too much more than the tier 2 right now. Rich Gang pull away, but it means they can't defend that outer turret in top lane. And the soul point that has been tantalizingly there for so long for Rich Gang has fallen away. They are now down 8,000 plus gold. Alaric goes in and immediately loses 80% of his HP bar. The Rupture comes on in. The curtains are called. And the Zac is down into bloblets and flubber. Unfortunately, is not getting a sequel. Velia picks up that body. Can maybe look to dive with the stolen form of the support. Goes elastic slingshotting in. Will try and ult away. He's got a bit deep, actually. And just gets shut down. Matix potentially also looking for a bit more.
Is there a long chase with Pillar here?
Yeah, there is potentially an angle. You just wonder, don't you? Deadly Flourish lands will deny Ozan stepping too far forward.
Does it matter anymore for Los Ratones? I don't think it does. They're just winning every game.
They always win. They are the Sepulba of the NLC. Feels a bit rude. They're probably a nicer pod racer than that, you know. But there we go. I had to find a Star Wars reference somewhere, mate, and that's the one I found.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Ozan.
At
least snap engage onto him. Oh, no.
Oh, they do. He's gone. Nemesis picks that one up. Mom is summoned again. Alaric goes a bit further forwards. The Ace is absolutely eviscerated. Just about gets away with half his HP bar, but it will come at the cost of Alaric. So 2 people down. And a 3v5 with Baron alive. That is surely another big neutral objective going the way of Los Ratones.
At least Rich Gang have Smolder Wave clear. I'm clutching at straws here, Sam. I'm really struggling to find
it's a short
positives
straw,
to
mate.
Rich
That's
Gang.
what they're drawing.
And they have 320 stacks on Smolder at this stage. Can they find a pick on the Baus? Usually the answer to that is no. As Dragon is spawning in 50 seconds and Baus is taking a reset. So everyone in Los Ratones is going to be on the map for this Drake.
Doesn't seem to matter. And the pick, the mechanics, the decision-making from Los Ratones in these later stages have been fantastic. Now they're at Soul Point as well. It is a 6-Drake game. And the last 3 of them have gone Los Ratones' way.
They have, and now they just have to push through bot, play from mid to bot, and siege that tier 3 tower if they want to. They've got full control of vision around this bot side as well, as the observers are highlighting kindly. And they can just siege without threat of any kind of flank from the Zac. Reckless is going to act like a human ward right here as well, as they get a bunch of uptime on this tower. Cannons aren't going to die to any kind of poke. And that's a tower that melts down extremely quickly. Rich Gang, it feels like they're just struggling to find anything to do.
Reckless goes in. Find the knock-up into Matix, the Deadly Flourish after. That's a 4-item Jin. He begins to hurt a lot more at this point as the passive begins to roll. Inhibitor chunked out low. 2 waves begin to look at those Nexus turrets instead, and the inexorable grind towards another NLC Finals. Another EMEA Masters appearance. Another trip to a LAN. Their path has been paved in gold all year long. And they'll add another flagstone to it, it feels like, unless Rich Gang can turn this tide around. They've got a 4-item Smolder. Maybe that's the way, but Reckless over the wall! Jumps on the backline and Kevo is the target. In comes Nemesis with the Realm Warp! And he finds another! They will not be denied! No early game failures! No mid-game fumbles will deny them a quadra kill to Nemesis! No Penta this time, but I don't think he'll damn well care, because it is another NLC Finals, and Baus will celebrate in the way he always does, with a fountain laser death. Welcome to Sweden!